Hello everyone, welcome back. Ibukun Williams is here again. Wow, 20 years hiatus, but I'm back. 20 years, but I still stay the same age, innit? Like, hello everyone, Ibukun Williams here. I'm back again. It's been a long time. I don't even know when last did I post on YouTube. It's actually been a long time, and I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back and stronger. 2025 has been a year actually. I started off the year posting a lot of videos about photography, about a couple of other things. I had a podcast where I've been speaking to people, and I'm sure you've seen some of those things. I'll actually put the links of some of the things I've put in the past right in the description right now. But I'm here again, and I am back with a new energy. It's, life is so very interesting. And like I tell people, life is all about cycles, everything is about cycle. It's like a wave, there's the ups, there's the downs. But what I tell people most of the time is that within all of these things, you have to, stay locked in, stay focused. Do it when you're happy, do it when you're sad, do it when you're not feeling fine, do it when everything is working, do it when everything is not working. And like I always say, most of all these things are usually a note to self. I'm basically speaking to myself. I would say that my YouTube, if you want to think about it, almost everything I say on my YouTube, I'm basically talking to myself, but I'm sharing it with you. So join my journey, enjoy this process, and see what it has to do. But today is actually a very special day, and I'm going to start with introducing you guys to my oregano. So basically, guys, I'm a plant dad, and I love to plant a lot of stuff. But I would say that in 2025, this oregano plant has been one of my greatest friends this year, because I have planted a huge amount of this. Like, I have it everywhere in my house, in my compound. And oregano, and like many other herbs, have so many benefits, but this particular one, I've used it so many ways. I've chopped it up and used it to marinate chicken. I've chopped it up and brewed it in hot water and make tea. I've mixed it with lemongrass and some other herbs to make tea and stuff like that. But I would say that I would just like you guys to, grab yourself an oregano. Trust me, thank me later. But anyways, that aside, it's currently September. I don't even know when I'm going to post this video, but it's September, I don't know, October, if I post this video in October. But we're getting close to the end of the year, and most of the time people are usually distracted by all their life struggles, everything going on with them. But this, I feel, is the time from experience where we have to start to lock in our processes. For the past years growing up, we've always had this culture of New Year's resolution. And we set a New Year's resolution in January, in the new year, and say, oh, this new year, this is what I'm going to achieve, this is what I want to do. Growing up, I've always done that. And if you have the same experience as me, we end up not following through with our New Year's resolutions. Personally, I think it's because we don't plan ahead. We don't actually take the New Year's resolution seriously. So there is something I would like to call, which I've seen, I'm not like the originator of it, but I would like to call the lock-in season. The last 3 months of the year is what I would call the lock-in season. I think some people start what they call the lock-in season even before the last 3 months of the year. Right now, I would say my own lock-in season is starting from September. The lock-in season is when you actually start to think about your next year. I don't know if you get me. You start to think about what you want to achieve in your next year. You don't wait till January to think about this stuff, because if you actually start in January, even if you stay consistent, you never really start to see results until maybe mid-year. And like I always say, everything good takes time. If you're looking for a quick fix for anything, trust me, it's not necessarily a quick fix. It's just a paint job, I would say. Now, so for me, I think that if you're going to be thinking about 2026, this is the time to start thinking about it. What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? What are your goals? What are your thoughts? But in order not to make it too complex, in order to reduce the pressure. I like to reduce pressure. Let's not pressure ourselves too much. Let's calm down. Let's take a chill pill. It's not that deep, right? For me, I think we always have to go back to the basics. The basics are everything. What do you want to achieve in your next year? So in your next year, I would assume a basic goal for everybody, is to reach the highest point of their desires. We all have desires. We want to achieve these desires. And I can say easily that, in order for you to achieve your own personal goals and the desires and the things you want, some of the basics are the first things that matter the most. And for me, I think that in order to achieve these things, your basics are very, very important. We could have many problems in life. All those problems become one once you're in the hospital or you're sick or something. You're more or less focused on fixing your health. So I will start with health. Health is very important. And what is health? Health is staying vibrant, staying strong, staying energetic so that you can actually think and be strong enough to hurdle over those obstacles that may come your way, because obstacles will definitely come your way. If you're trying to live a life without obstacles, then you're not going to make any progress. You're not going to grow. There's this thing I always say on the internet, which I always play around with my friends, and we say, I don't want peace. I want problems always.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
It's not necessarily a curse. It's problems. Some people could call it challenges. But these are the things that help you grow. For somebody like me who works out, I've realized that when you go to the gym and you work those muscles, you go through some form of pain, your obstacle. That's like your own demon. But it is through that pain that the body realizes that, oh my God, I'm being put through more and more work, and I have to prepare for that work. So in order for me to prepare for all these weights that I'm experiencing, I may need to build more muscle. So when you have that body and you're having that muscle, the muscle is not coming as a result of, oh, I just want to have muscle. Your body is actually trying to compensate for the work that you're giving it. So it is through the pain that you're getting the development. So if you say, I don't want peace, I want problems always, maybe not problems, but challenges, these are the things that help you grow. So I would say, first of all, your health. Very important. And how do you deal with your health? Your sleeping cycle. How do you sleep and how do you wake up? A lot of times people say, oh, I want to go sleepless nights to achieve my goals. I wouldn't judge anybody for the choices they make, but I would say that when you're well rested, you can actually achieve more. You can actually think better. Your brain works better. So try to develop, in your lock-in season, try to develop a very disciplined sleep routine. Have a time you sleep, have a time you wake up. Give yourself a good amount of rest so that when you wake up, you're locking in straight into whatever it is you want to do. So like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to achieve your goals. I'm going to tell you how to prepare yourself to be in the right state of mind, the right environment, to achieve those goals. So first of all, your health in terms of sleeping, first of all, is very important. Have a very disciplined sleep routine, I would say. And for me, like I always say, I'm talking to myself as well. From experience, over time, I started something like 2 years ago where I would put my phone automatically on DND from 8 p.m. and so that I don't receive, unnecessary calls. I kind of separate on my phone. I kind of add calls from loved ones to come in straight. So if you're calling me at 9 and it's not going through, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that you're not a loved one. You are loved. You're all loved. But you could decide that, okay, it may be a call from my mom or a call from my wife or my child or whatever, which are very important to you. Anybody could be in an emergency or something like that. Those calls could come in, but every other call doesn't necessarily need to come in maybe around 8 p.m. So that's what I did. From 8 p.m., you may not be able to reach me. And then from that 8 p.m. to like 10 p.m., I'm settling down, I'm winding down, I'm eating, or most likely I've already eaten, but maybe I'm having fruits, I'm thinking about a couple of things. Sometimes I could actually still be scrolling through social media, which is not so good, but yeah, I still do it anyways, but then close to 10, from like 10, I get into my bed and I try to sleep. And then I sleep. I give myself at least 6 to 7 hours of good sleep. Like 7 hours is a good number, So from 10, most of the time I do 6 hours. So I'm up by 4 a.m. or sometimes I'm up by 5 a.m. And when I'm up by 5 a.m., I start a morning routine, which I have. So a morning routine where I go into some meditation, I think, I journal, I pray, I do all my stuff. And then I start my work, and then I work all day. And naturally by 9, 10 again, I'm already getting tired. Like my body's already saying, okay, it's okay. Like, let's go to bed again. And I did that for a while consistently, and my body started to evolve. I started to change. I was achieving a lot more every day because of this very disciplined sleep routine, like just sleep. You can imagine. It's very interesting how sleep can change a lot of things. And I would say that, first of all, develop a very disciplined sleep routine. So now the next thing I want to talk about, especially in this your lock-in season, to create the environment that is perfect for you, is nutrition. Nutrition is like one of the most important things. Like what you eat is actually your medicine. I wouldn't even say what you eat. I would say what you consume. And what you consume comes in so many ways, like what you put in your mouth, what you put on your skin, what you put on your hair, what you listen to, the kind of energies that you keep around you, the kind of discussions that you have. But let's keep it simple. Let's talk about nutrition. Nutrition is very, 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 and I cannot overemphasize, important. Decide what you eat and eat properly. I can't necessarily give you a nutrition guide or routine here, but I would say that, make your diet balanced. Eat carbs, eat your veggies, eat your proteins, eat intentionally. Don't just wake up and eat any junk that you see in the supermarket. I always tell people this: if your food needs to be colored in a cartoon and advertised on TV to convince you to eat it, you're probably not eating food. Real food doesn't need advertisements. So think about that. Think about what is grown. Maybe you should go back to nature. Think about what you want to eat. A very good example is oregano. A lot of times I tend to make tea with this, and just to cleanse my system every time. And it's really, I enjoy it at this point. I'm not saying you have to do it, but I enjoy it at this point, and it makes me feel better. I came across a recipe where I would mix oregano and lemongrass, and trust me, I don't want to know how much insomnia you have, but just brew some lemongrass and oregano and sleep and thank me later. Also, you have to remember in your lock-in season that your limitations are your opportunities. Your problems are your ladders. They are your ladders to climb. So when you're in a situation and things seem to get hard, some obstacles come your way, try and look at them as opportunities and let them be that platform that you would use to climb the ladder of success. And like I said earlier, pain can be a guide. Not suffering, pain can be a guide. Another thing that will help you in this time that you're planning, towards your next year is the past. Yes, the past. The past is one of the things that affect us the most as humans. When you talk about traumas, when you talk about regrets, when you talk about different things, all of these things can be broken down, or let me say all of these things can be put together into the past. You're basically visiting the past. Not just even you mentally, even subconsciously, your body is visiting the past. For example, somebody who's been burnt in fire before would probably go close to fire and would have trauma. Just seeing fire or seeing something hot. That is the body visiting the past, having memories of what it has experienced in the past. So you have to find a way to reevaluate your past. Try as much as you can to visit the past less. When you remember something in the past that you don't necessarily like or you regret, just observe it and try not to judge it, and observe that, okay, this thing was in the past and we have to move on. It's not as easy as it's said, but it's a process. What is more important is that you have to be aware. Another thing is, I would say, it's quite difficult, but try not to escape your mind. Escaping your mind, in fact, is one of the things that affects most of us. The process of escaping our mind is what takes us to alcohol, to drugs, to all sorts of things, because we're trying to escape the mind. Actually, face that mind if you can. You're bored, face that boredom. Sit with it. Things are affecting your mind. Sit with it. Experience it. Let it sink in. Don't escape your mind, because you know why? Your body and your mind is strong enough to deal with it. It could be painful, hurtful. I'm running mad. Oh my God. But guess what? Through that madness, your body will find a way to deal with it. You would actually then resolve it. There was a time where I would get bored and I'm like, what do I want to do? And I want to escape my mind. I want to drink or whatever. And I decide, no, let's actually face that boredom. Let's face it. And then it is then I'm like, okay, now that I'm not doing this, what next do I do? What do I do now? I'm bored. And then I'll start to think. And then that's when my brain starts to, okay, I want to start this idea. I want to start this new thing. I want to do this. And then over time, daily, when I'm faced with that boredom, I'm not necessarily bored anymore. I'm able to actually deal with the processes. We're still getting there. We're still growing. This is a process. So don't feel like you're being judged, because you're not being judged. We're in the same ship. I'm just encouraging you to brace up and face your mind. Don't escape it. Don't run away from your mind. Your mind is the most efficient gift that has been gifted to you. So face it, enjoy it, and let it be a tool for you in these times. Another thing that you want to think about in this season that we're in is consistency. Consistency is one of the most interesting games that you can play. And why I'm bringing up consistency right now is that I don't want to talk about it from the cliche point of view that, if you do something, you have to do it every day. Yes, you have to do it consistently, not necessarily every day, but more consistently. And consistency means just coming back when you fall, because you most likely will fall. It's only natural. That's what I want you to understand. It's only natural for you to fail, for you to fall. But what consistency, in my opinion, is the ability to stand up again and try again. So in the concept of consistency, some days you will do more, some days you will do less. But guess what? You're still doing. That is what matters the most. So in this lock-in season, this rest of the year that we're going into, in order for you to plan your 2026 properly, try and build in these new habits and routines. And you will find out that you will naturally be in a new year. How do I put it? You will naturally have a New Year's resolution that you don't even have to write down. That you would naturally live it. You would be it. You would not be thinking about it. You will become it. So it's just a few things, not so much. Think about your sleep routine. Think about your health, your nutrition. Think about your energy, the energy you keep around you. Think about what you consume. Think about how much of the past you're visiting. Observe it. Try not to visit the past too much. Don't run away from your mind. Don't escape it. Face it. And trust me, 2026 is going to be a beautiful year. I'm currently in my lock-in season, so you're going to be seeing a lot more of me on YouTube going forward to the end of the year. So I want you guys to please, join me and, let me use you as a clutch to keep me accountable, towards keeping my YouTube consistent as well. So guys, I know if this video has made sense to you, if you've been able to gain anything from the few things I've said today, not so much, but let me know. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to get updated as I also update you on my processes. And before you go, try and get you some oregano. I can't overstate it. It is very beneficial. So guys, my name is Ibukun Williams. I hope you've had fun today. I hope you've learned a lot today. So see you in the next one. Bye.